Good morning, everybody. It's Marty the JavaScript Party. I am currently out. I'm on vacation. It is Friday. I believe today's Friday, May 29th. Yeah, this is my first day of vacation. Now, I do not have my external monitor. So, like, this is what I'm looking at. This is all I could see myself this way. Normally, I could see myself on my laptop, which is what I'm on right now, and then I have external monitor that I have map to. But now we have our browser and this. So last time when we got together, I realized, we kind of set up this whole system so that we know when the dictionary changes. So, I don't know. I think I say this over and over again because I'm trying to get good at saying these words. But basically, when the way I have this signal set up, when the signal, if you set the value of the dictionary, if you change the dictionary value, the object stays the same, right? So the address of the object that is referencing that stays the same, even though the contents were changed, which is not how it works for primitives. So for primitives, when you change it, it actually changes not just the value, but it also changes the address and the memory address. So that means that it's much easier for Angular to recognize that there was a change. If you only change something within it, then you have to somehow convey that, and that's what this whole camera dictionary hash is. And then we get our camera dictionary, and now we want a row. So const, and that's camera row. So this is going to be different because this is going to have a distinct row. Like every row isn't like your typical row. It's it's not like, oh, this maps this. I have a dictionary, I'm mapping out all the values or anything like that. It's more like I'm going to get a bunch of meta information about the dictionary and each specific dictionary, and then each dictionary is going to have its own row. So anyways, like I said, I don't normally work like this way at all, ever, right? I normally have an external monitor. Every once in a while I'll have to work this way, like if I go into my job, I may have to, especially particularly if I need to show something somewhere, that isn't like at a desk or something, like I drag my laptop to show something, then I kind of have to work like this, but it's very unusual. It's not bad, it's just that you do a lot of alt tabbing. So, I can alt tab to here and see what's going on with this recording, make sure that it's still going. I see that it's 3 minutes 8 seconds long. I can alt tab here to write code, and then I can alt tab to here and see the results. All right, so now we have our row. So let's just change this to row. Camera row. Alright, now we need to go into this, and now that's like another thing is I don't have an external keyboard at this point, so I have to hit F12. I could right click too, but I have to hold my function button down and then hit, I believe it's insert. That's not working for me. Alright, so I can also, what happened? Oh, maybe it was coming up. Yeah, I guess it was coming up, but it was just super slow. So this is right now. We don't have anything here. And then if I add a visualization, and then now we have, this is our row. Right here. As you can see, we have a JSON, we have a count, and we have a type. All right, so the next step in my thought is, okay, we need to add this to our dictionary. And I actually do not have internet access at the moment. But we need to add it to the mat table. And like I said, don't really know exactly how to do that. I think probably it's something along the lines of, like I probably can say this data source dot. See, there's data, and then I guess it must be this data equals, and then for now we're just going to slide our row in there. And really, all I'm trying to do is wire things up. To me, the sooner you can reasonably, so I'm gonna hit save, Control S, come over here, see that all I cared about was that there was not like some sort of runtime error or something like that. But so now what we were doing is we're actually creating a brand new array, which is going to be in the array itself is going to have a brand new location. So let's say we created an array. My array equals, and then we did this, right? Okay, so my understanding, I'm pretty sure this is true. My array and this data array here, they have two different addresses. They're not pointing to the exact same thing because I actually had it when I added these brackets. It actually told it create a brand new array in a brand new location. But they both have the same content. So it's like sort of like if a person lived in the house and for some reason, like sometimes actually I noticed like if you look up on Google Map, you might look up an address and it'll say that there's two entries to that house. One is like a county, like such and such county they live in, and then the next one's like a city or something, and it'd be like it's the same exact house, they just have two references to it. So that's exactly what this is. This is two different references, it's two different addresses, but it's the exact same contents inside of it. And so, like, if I modify the camera row in any way, it actually changes it in all the different references, not just the one. It's the same thing, but different. It's very, very weird. But anyway, so because of these two have two different addresses, so it's pretty easy for Angular to tell if it changed or not. I mean, it could tell that there was an address change even though it's the exact same stuff. So you can sometimes have problems with Angular thinking things are changing when they didn't, or vice versa, and Angular not noticing something changed when it did change because of that. Anyway, so now we have our data source. So I want to go look over at our other table. Normally I would ask ChatGPT or hop on, go to the Angular Material website, but that is not really an option for me. So I think we need a mat table. And I don't think we can do a mat table without including the mat table. So I find it better. It seems to work out best if you actually use a table tag. You do not have to, but I found that sort of just has the best general outcome table. And I think that this one, the first problem, we're going to run into problems. The first problem is I don't think I'm importing. Oh, maybe I am. I didn't think I was importing. Oh, I am importing it because I had to get the. So in the past, I would generally at this point I'll have like a bug because I haven't imported. I don't think I want to import it that way though. I think I want the mat table module. And then I don't think we need that mat table anymore. So that would have been like probably a real pain in the butt. Pretty sure that's how I have to do that. Not 100% sure, but I don't see any errors. Everything seems happy. Alright, so I think with that mat table, I don't know what that mat table was. I'm curious now. What is this? It's just a class. So we imported the class, but not the whole module. So I don't know why I didn't throw an error though. I guess importing mat table is enough to get it to not. I don't know, because that's a directive, and that directive should have worked. I mean, should have I don't. It shouldn't have been able to figure out what that directive was. I don't know. It's a mystery. Probably something I'll think about tonight while I'm trying to sleep. Oh no, something went horribly wrong. Oh, it's probably upset because we never set like a header or anything. Yeah, no header, footer. Yeah, so this is the second bug that I will normally run in, but it's the first one today. And that's like you need to actually define all these things. It actually just throws a console error, which probably it would be better if it didn't, like if it just errored as opposed to a runtime error. It would be interesting though. I wouldn't be surprised actually if we restarted if it does throw an error. But while we're waiting for it to restart, let's go over here and look at our entity table and see what's next. So, okay, so we do want multi-template data rows. Multi-template data rows is what lets you have like that expandable row. I almost forget that one almost every time. It's nice having a reference. It's kind of nice doing it this way. Okay, so it did build still, which really surprises me. Boy, I'll tell you that, like in Angular 9 and Angular 10, where if you make a change in like a module, it doesn't pick up the error, man, that can lead to some nightmare scenarios in the enterprise because, like, people will fix it. They think they fix it locally, everything works fine, and then you're doing a PR, you pull the branch. Let's say you already have the application up and running, and then you change over to the new branch. Everything, it just keeps working. Everything seems fine because the Angular 9 and 10 weren't sensitive to the module changes. And so that means all the reviewers miss it because if they don't remember to actually restart Angular, which I don't usually do when I do a pull request review. It's nightmare scenario, my friends, nightmare scenario. All right, so now we want to go in here and we want to add that multi-table. I believe this is also a directive. Multi-template data rows. So I don't know though. Maybe this isn't a directive. Maybe this is. Oh, it says that's a component. And then let's see if we mouse over this if it tells us. If component. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a directive. We probably can just like import it, I bet you. And then get a little bit more information about it. Let's see. No. What am I talking about? What am I even talking about? All right, let's get rid of that. We don't want that anymore. I don't think. We might need it. We might need it actually for something down here. I guess not. You know, it's so funny because I think what I just exposed to myself is that I don't really actually understand what happens in import and what, like, the difference between a module and a class, those sorts of things. Those very, like, I know in practice how to use it, but I don't actually quite understand it. That's probably one of the major benefits to kind of doing things a different way. Last night right before I was falling asleep, I was thinking about how we just always call this displayed columns. And that's so generic, and I don't know if that's a good idea or not. If it would be better to name it like 3 columns or something like, or yeah, 3. What did it do? Control Z, Control. I guess it. Like 3 table columns. I mean, displayed columns is kind of cool because it's a good name because displayed columns kind of like implies that there's undisplayed columns, like there's columns that are hidden, which is nice. It's nice to have that in the language to explain that. But the problem is it also sounds very generic, and it sounds like maybe just like an attribute that you're unaware of or something like that. Like it's easy to just go, okay, well that's some generic thing, some abstraction that I don't need to worry about at the moment. But anyway, so now let's go back over here to entity. And I do want to like kind of make it very clear that I don't know. I mean, I don't normally do things this way, right? Like I've just adapted to a whole new way of doing things because whenever because I don't have an external monitor, because I don't have access to the internet at the moment. So I've completely shifted to kind of like how I used to do things. Like this was very similar to how I used to do things like in the 90s, maybe even the early 2000s. But yeah, it's like one of those things like where it really helps if you can, if you sort of can adapt. So let's see what happens if we add our row, and we did just change this name to like 3 table columns. Save. I do feel like my like autocomplete and that kind of stuff is working a lot better than it usually works. And I'm wondering if it's because I don't have that. I mean, it's not trying to draw on that gigantic monitor. Okay, so we're still broken here. This is still rendering, but it's just still throwing runtime. And oh, it's upset that it can't get to there. Oh, nothing's working now. Oh, yes, it is. Yeah, we're back to this thing. That was crazy. He was like, I can't do it. I can't get to Google for my fonts. All right, so that's our row. And it looks like you create a TR. You tell it to use this TR header row template container. It says it's a template container. Adds the right class and role that contains the cell outlet. And then this is our, apparently has a, see that I'm pretty sure is a directive, and it accepts this value, I think. I believe that's what this it indicates. That's really interesting that I don't actually have a good grip on that. Alright, so now let's go to, so then over here, oh wait, mat header row definition. See, these are each one of these containers maps to one row, or one column. It kind of flips everything sideways. Like mentally, normally, whenever in the past, when I would visualize drawing a table with rows out, it would be like, oh, this table has to go here. This table, I mean, this. I would think on it more on like a row by row, not a column by column basis, and this sort of flips that whole mindset. Okay, so now we have our mat row, which is kind of interesting because we have this mat row and then this expanded detail row. But we're supposed to define, so we've defined the rows that we want, which is like, I think it was type and JSON and count. So those are the 3 rows. So now we need to create one of these for each one of the rows. And this describes the header and the column. And then over here, this describes the header row. Okay, and then this describes each individual row. And then this describes each expanded row. That's a detail row. And we created looks like we created our own classes to style these things. So, and then we have like a couple of those. So I'm just going to copy both of these. I never know what to do, and I don't like it when like this is in a situation right now where we're in a completely broken state, And I really enjoy coding where you can stay unbroken. It just stays unbroken the whole time. I would imagine some people really like the idea that it stays broken, and then it fixes. Like that's probably a fun experience too. All right, so this is our header row. And then these are our two rows. We have expanded rows, and then we have displayed columns. And this should not be displayed columns. This should be 3 table columns. And then for the moment, I'm just going to create a toggle row function. And it always feels like, man, this stuff just doesn't belong in the same file with the transform stuff. To me, I don't know why. Toggle row. I'm assuming I probably made that a Boolean wherever I did it before. And we're going to return a true. And we're going to say hello world. Toggle row says hello world. Alright, now we got our toggle row. It's probably not right though, because toggle row is supposed to take a row, and I'm guessing this is I don't know. I think it's one of these, like a mat row thing, but I don't know. So what I'm going to do, I think this will work for me. I think if I say row, comma, string. Okay? I'm like, hey, I'm getting a string. I believe when I come over here, it'll say you can't use. Oh, this is interesting. So that's an any. Oh, so it's probably sending one of these. Okay, I bet you what it's sending is one of these guys here, 3 table record. It's kind of funny that it made it an any on the template side. Like the IDE says, hey, this is an any, because I told it was a string. All right, so now expanded rows, I'm guessing, is a dictionary, which I think is probably okay to just use whatever we're doing over here. Key string Boolean, yeah. And I just don't know that it pays to have like a reusable generic type like specified in like a TypeScript file. And I do not think we want this this here. I think I just wanted that just to try it out, just to see what we have. All right. So it's not barking in here. I'm guessing it's still. Ooh, it actually broke now, because it's like, hey, I cannot find an ID with 3 type. Oh, okay. So it's saying it couldn't find a column when it's, and I think what it's saying is it couldn't find one of these things up here, like a container, an ng container that has this in it. So we're going to grab that, we're going to come over here. So it's kind of cool because it's actually telling us specifically what the problem is, which is that it cannot find. It was like, I've read that a million times and not understood what it was saying, so don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's obvious what it is, but I'm saying they are specifically telling us where the specific issue is. And that's that we do not have anything, we don't have a column, we haven't defined a column for 3 type. Now if I'm right about that, then what will happen is and then I'm just going to call it type. So the header above it, so this is what it's supposed to be above it. always think, I don't know, type. And then what it's gonna, we're gonna let this, and this is gonna be called a 3 record. And then we're gonna say that class, so we're gonna have to set this later, right? And then this is our 3 type. So we'll probably have to go in and set some kind of style or something. And then this is obviously, now this is for trying to, like, I don't know why, but that word obviously is very, very loaded. So it's our 3 table. And it's a 3 ID. So I'm assuming I'm going to need this. This is going to be for our Cypress, and then it's going to be our 3 record. And then it should be like, I don't know, it doesn't know that. Can you do this? No. I was kind of hoping you could colon, and this is actually of type, what is it, 3 type? I can't remember. Let's go look real quick. It's right here at the bottom. 3 table record. The back button up there, 3 table record. Yeah, see, it would be nice if I could strongly type that. I don't know why it doesn't know that it's a 3 table record. But anyways, we know, I believe it was, it's just literally just looking at this. Okay, so let's get forward. Scroll to the bottom. It's a 3 type. Just click over here. And then basically that's what we show in here is our 3 type. Let's just hit save, and if that is right, then when we come down here, I don't know, save, okay, this is our new problem, so could not find one with count, right, so basically rinse and repeat. I kind of like am partially like tempted to just remove the display types and just only show the 3 type just to make sure that everything works right, but you know, I'm going to try this instead. I'm going to try. Okay, so that's still right. And so, but now this one is for count. And then the actual header will be count. It will say count in the header of the table. And then this is still the 3 record. And then this is 3. And that's not ID, that's actually type. And then this is going to be, I mean, it wouldn't make a difference, but it would be like we're tying the like a number to that. That would be weird. And then this is, I only saw that because I was like, oh, this should be 3 type count. And then this should be count. And this should be count. And then hit save. Now we should get another one of these, but it should be complaining about JSON. Yep. I call that a win. The fact that I was able to completely predict what the next error was going to be. And that might sound weird to you, but like you will have errors. You just will. And you will be in error states sometimes. And JSON. assume that this is for a count, so I'm going to say 3 count. This class is probably just to style this. I don't know exactly, though, for sure. So this is for JSON. 3 type JSON. 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 All right, and let's save. Uh-oh. What? Oh, ID expanded detail. All right. Oh, okay, so yeah, it's not gonna like this row, columns, expanded detail row. I think it's very generic, but I think it's expanded 3. And then this is row dot three type. Let's see. Now it's complaining about expanded detail. Oh, okay. So did we not? I think we need to. Probably there's probably something called an expanded detail. So we copied this. Okay, yeah, this is our expanded detail row. There we go. Oh man, I was like, oh, I made that sound. Usually if I do that sound, my dogs will all come running, but my dogs aren't here. I miss the dogs though. All right. Pebbles is one of my son's dogs. He's at the house too. My son, we sort of like we're able to save some money, a little bit of money on them, or relieve a little burden off of them by letting the dogs stay at our house, but we're already paying someone to come by and watch them. So we have someone watching the dogs, so adding 2 more dogs is a little more work for them, but I don't think they mind because Pebbles and Roxy are just absolute sweethearts. But all right, I'm trying to add one last container. That's so funny. The TRs, I kind of wanted to try them out at the top and ended up. So attribute call span is the display column's length. So that's, we could just put like the number 3 in there or something like that. But this is not called displayed columns. They're called 3 table columns. And I think like literally in my brain, the second I said, oh, these are 3 table columns, like there was actually a cognitive load drop on my brain. So expanded rows. This is called column, no, view, something type, row type, column type, 3 type. And I just think that what I just did, like the way I just did that, is just so healthy, so mentally healthy, to like kind of just be able to be like in charge. You're right, you're just typing stuff out and you know exactly what you're trying to type out and all that. Oh, and now we're building. Uh-oh. I think my lack of internet has caught up with me. For some reason it decided. There we go. Add viz. It's interesting to see what happens. ST. So crazy. I actually like the way that looks better, I think, than without the actual font, whatever font we're using. But it doesn't look like we're getting anything here. Oh, we're still getting, no? I don't know what's happening. And I did do this a little different than I've ever done it before, and I am not online, so I don't know if that is an issue. I don't think that would be an issue. Actually, there's no way that's I don't think that's an issue because, and the reason I don't think, okay, so we do have a table and it's got a bunch of stuff in it. And we have a head. Maybe it's the styling. Because it kind of looks like we have. Yeah, okay, so, yeah, oh, actually there, there it is up there. We just don't have any rows of data. And there are rows of data, because if we come over here, we can see that we have two sets of renderers, right? So we're supposed to be showing our camera rows. So let's just see, this could also still be a styling issue. T body, so we have our body, so that's good. Oh no, let's open that up. And we have two empty containers. So for some reason, neither of the row, so like both rows are like generating something, because there should be two rows here. No, there should only be one row because it's just the camera, right? Let's go to the console. Alright, that's actually okay, so that's good. So let's come over here. Maybe we're not adding it. This data source is equal to camera. So I guess maybe we're not adding this right. I'm guessing. This camera row. Let's say this dot data. Let's just console out this data source dot data. Okay, so we are, well, okay, there's no data in there. Okay, so now let's add one. That is so odd that that icon is coming in, but the other icon isn't. Okay, so in here, yeah, see in here we have data now. We have one row, ID number 2, count of 1, and all that. But for some reason, well, let's look in here now, because we know we have data in there. And see, like, I did this in a different way than I normally do things, so like it doesn't surprise me that I missed a step. But so here we got our data source dot data is equal to this. We might, I wonder if we need to do like a redraw. Let's just go look at the other entity table. Because here's where I do that. Yeah, so this dot data. Oh, I wonder if it doesn't. Let's go. Filtered. I bet you. No, it's a new data. We did a new data source. Back to here. This is kind of. Oh, wait. Oh, wrong one. Yeah, this is telling it to create a new row. And then when we do here, we inspect this. We see that our T body has 2 containers. Oh, yeah, it would be 2 containers. One for the detail and one for that. But we're not, like, we're getting that error. Our data's right. I think our data's right. It's not throwing any kind of console log error. We got that. Let's see. Let's go back in here and just see if we have anything like just obvious. Oh no. Okay, so my next thing will be to try to just restart. Let's see what we get. So that's that. See, well, see, it's showing this up here though, right? Like it's something, yeah, so it is not happy. Something is very, very wrong. Oh yeah, my whole browser is locked down. Let me launch a new browser. Okay, now we'll go to data entities, and then we're going to go to 3, back to ST entities. Okay, so now we're happy there. Come over here, add viz. Are we still locked? Are we locked down now? Nope, we're still working. Okay, let's look in here, inspect. So we see our THs, which is what we saw before. And we have 2 empty containers, which is really strange. And then, like I said, it kind of came at this a different way, so I'm not 100%. Okay, so that top part is working, but the bottom part is not working. So let's just go ahead and, I don't know. We kind of have to work backwards. So 3 records shouldn't be a problem. 3 type. TD set melt definition. I wonder if you have to do this. You probably don't have to do this, right? You could probably just go like here. And see, this is what I like to do. Okay, what we're gonna do. So one of the things I usually do very differently is I'll only do like 1 column. And let's go ahead and get rid of the detail too. So taking a step back, debugging, and now. So now it's just 1 ng container, and now we want in our 3 table columns, the only thing we're supporting right now is the 3 type. All right, so I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to hit so I think we're okay. It's going to be unhappy with a save at the moment. So in order to avoid that, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to change my column rows to just 3 type is the only one. Basically just removing the number of moving parts. Like I said, early on, like maybe 15 minutes ago, I was like, you know what, I kind of would like to just drop down to just one type. And it is 3 type, right? Okay, what do you complain about? Not fine. Oh yeah, I wanted to get rid of the whole expanded detail concept. Okay, so here, add a viz, definitely broken now. Still not working. All we have is the type, inspect, and all we have is in our body, all we have is an empty ng. So it's weird that we still have 2 empty ng containers. That's weird because we only have the one thing. So I hit save again. It says it's rebuilding again, so maybe we had something. I guess we can start straight here. 3 table. Yeah, we still have 2 empty containers. We have our row, we have our header, but okay. So then I think all we can do. I hate to lose this work, right? I just hate it, but all we can do is this hello. See if the word hello comes up. Nope, still nothing. Was there? Well, I don't know if there was anything though. Okay, yeah, there is something. So that's not working. And it is interesting because I thought, oh, I have two things in the body because I have a detail and a on that, but no. You have these ng containers, but there doesn't seem to be anything inside of them. I'm seeing some more errors up here, but I think these are probably about the oh. Yeah, let me hit refresh. We still get this expanded detail? No, we do not get this expanded detail error anymore. Yeah, so here's my camera dictionary now. So even at this, yeah, actually, even at this, we should still be showing something now that I think about it, because we still, yeah, we would still see this row. This row exists whether we add something or not. So that is another moving part we need to sort of throw out. So for some reason, what if I get rid of this completely? So I don't think a row has to have a value to it. See, we should be seeing like row equals empty in here, like one column, and it should be empty, but for some reason it's not picking it up. So now I'm just going to start just removing stuff in general. I wonder if this is the problem, this class equals st row. Let's get rid of the tab index. Probably end up losing this stuff by accident. Alright, just a bit. Right. Nothing. Huh. Just don't even know. It's weird. Not that weird. I do run into these things all the time, I guess. So this is our column def for the 3 type. And we know it's right. We know this part up here is right because we do get this type here. But for some reason we're not getting the TD, the column. And then over here we've defined the type. This is where we define the header. And then this is where we define the row. Map row. And then we say over here, let this, so this seems like that has to be right because, but this is for the, okay, so the header row uses the columns, this uses 3 map row. I feel like we're not defining something here. Did I just remove that? Is that, no? Maybe that's the problem. It seems like we're table columns. Well, I think we defined that up here though. At the top of the table. Oh. No. So right at the beginning, I did not give it a data source. That's so funny. That was really good. That was a good learning experience. That it's kind of like nice whenever something like that takes a long time to figure out because then you'll remember it. It's like if I had seen it instantly, I would have like. But I'm like, oh, okay. If I come at it this way, let's say I came at it from a different angle. Normally, I go from the template and start building out rows and work backwards towards the TypeScript. But this time, I worked from the TypeScript up to the template. Okay, so at least we're getting a row now. All right, so now let's see if we can control Z all the way back to where we had everything built out. If I did that like 3 more times, I would probably remember it forever. years from now, you'd be able to be like, you going too far back? I think I'm going too far back. Okay, I think everything looks good. We should be able to save here. Come back over here. Oop, does not. 3 ST record. So it's saying that's on the in the template on line 94, or maybe line 9. Oh, okay, I see. Control Z, Control Z. Okay, I'm definitely, I don't know. I'm in a weird spot. Oh yeah, that's when I was like, oh, I wanna. Okay, so 3 record needs to be like 3 type, and then we want this whole thing over here. Well, definitely did not go back far enough or too far. It did something weird. Okay, that looks good. That does not look good. Because now I don't even have the headers. What did I do? Yeah, I don't know what the heck I even just did. Can I Control Z? Okay, yeah, that, I don't know. I really screwed things up there. Alright. I think that's right. Okay, so what we did was we just created a 3 type. I guess I just went way too far back, but I think this is as far forward. Okay, so I have my container that defines the header and the cell just for the type. See if that's back at least. And no, and it's upset because I don't have my expanded detail. Alright, alright. Expanded detail. That's this one. That was the last thing I had to do over there. Back over here. Let's define our expanded detail. Oh my gosh, you're a pain. Copy. Back to here. Back to here. Paste. And this is 3 table columns. And then this is 3 table columns. And then this is row value. Row. So if it's expanded, we're going to save it by the value type, right? The 3 type. Was it something? Was it, yeah, we lost our closing bracket. I remember once I went to an interview and they like did not tell me we were going to do a coding test, and I didn't bring my glasses, and yeah, that was crazy. I was trying to like code. Actually did succeed. They were shocked that I was able to actually code. I was like, my face was like literally next to the screen. Okay, so we're back to here, and that's because the data type, or we need to add our data source, and that needs to be calculated from the value that's in TypeScript. I mean, on the, yeah, the TS file. There we go, camera. All right. And the expanded is always showing right now because Let's see what happens. But I don't have the I can't add visualizations anymore. Or they might actually be. Yeah, okay, so it did add them, we just don't see. Kind of surprises me that we don't see the value down here, the JSON value. Oh, we probably don't have it. Yeah, who knows? I don't know. That is a problem for another day, though. Alright, so now let's go back to here where we have the count in the JSON, and then back to here and add a count in a JSON. Let me just take this and we make that go back there. It's still mat column definition is not 3 type, it is count. I think it's not 3 count, it's just count. And the header of this one will be count. It's the 3 record. This is not the 3 ID. This is the 3 type. And this is our 3 type count. And then this is 3 record, 3 count. So now we've defined the header and the dev. We've got our expanded. Hit save. Oh, it's probably upset that we did not do JSON yet. Okay, let's do the JSON. And this is a little sloppier than I would normally, not sloppier, but not as smooth as it would normally go for me. But like I said, I would normally go in a little bit more of a sort of like abstract way where I work backwards from like any like working stuff. I'm gonna make that caps. I think I want that to be caps. Okay, so you definitely cannot. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, so I went to the gas station yesterday, put my card in the thing. It actually had little stickers like on the little thing saying this is verified. At what time the attendant inside had verified that no other hacking thing had been put on there. It looked good, all that. About 2 hours later, I got a warning from the credit card company saying that they tried to charge us like literally an extra $100 at the place, like, and then the whole thing got canceled. Okay, so that's cool. So now we have our count and our JSON, and so now let's go try to add a viz. There we go. Count, camera type, count, and here's the JSON. Now I don't know why this one's not working. Probably because it's not like we aren't even calling those functions to expand and collapse. But what seems to be left is to finish off these, like add the counts and stuff, and then get the expanding and contracting working, and then populate this down here. And that should be it. I think we're at a good stopping point here. Let me click over to here. We're at a good stopping point. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Happy coding. Bye.